it off, turn it back on again, and it will flash the name that they named it. We did tell all the students to use an identifiable name, like something that we would know who it is. We have the spreadsheet with all of the students' pen names as well. So if you need to, just contact Sam and he'll be able to find the owner. Then it will come to this. So this is your battery indicator at the time and tells you if it's connected to wireless. So this is what it's set at by default. But as soon as we tap the record button, it went into record mode. So now it says REC and it's time stamping our recording. So it does change depending on what you're doing. Underneath, you'll just say this little dot right here is your microphone. So your microphone is recording all audio being spoken in the room. So you need to be aware of that. When your kids are using this to take notes in their class, it's recording everything. It's recording their other students if they make an inappropriate comment. It's recording you. So everything is now being recorded in the room, okay? Underneath the microphone is a speaker. So in a few minutes, I'm going to have you play back your notes like you saw in the video, and it's going to play directly through the speaker. At the very, very bottom is the ink tip. It has a little underside right here. To replace your ink, just pull it out with your fingernails or get a pin nose pliers. There is an extra ink tip in your box. It's underneath where the USB cable was. It has a little yellow piece of tape because a lot of people were missing it in the beginning. But if you need to go out and purchase any additional ink, it comes in blue, black, and red in fine and medium points. And it can be purchased at Staples, Amazon, Best Buy, or livescribe.com. No one needs me to repeat that? Because I've said those words a lot today. Where can we buy it? Now we also have metal stylus tips, and this is good information for you guys. So if you want to replace your ink tip with a stylus tip, like let's say that you have more than one pen, and you create like an interactive bulletin board that's a learning center, and you want the kids to go up and tap on it to play back the audio. You wouldn't want them to write on that, especially if you spend a lot of time creating something of that nature. So you could put a little metal stylus tip in there to still activate the audio, but not write on the surface. So just be aware that that's available.
You know what that makes me think about?
What?
Way in the future, wouldn't it be cool if you could capture a whole smartboard? You turn a smartboard into one of these notebooks that everything you write on the smartboard is captured and the audio goes along with it. Not today, I understand that, but anyway, something to think about.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because Polyvision licenses the same dot technology from the company we license it from is called Anodo. They're a Swedish company, and Polyvision's boards license the Anodo technology for their boards. That's how they brought their whiteboard to life. So maybe they're working on that.
That could be interesting.
All right, if you look at the top of your pen, these two jacks are up on the top. You have a headset jack and a USB. So you do charge the battery via the USB now. So you won't need it to update the pen, but you will need the USB cord to charge. You can either put it into a computer, or if you have, like if your phone came with one of those AC, like USB, like my iPhone has, you can plug into those as well. They work. I even have my surge protector has 2 USB ports in it. My husband's truck has a USB port now. So anything that's like USB AC powered would work. We'll talk about headsets in a minute, but any standard headsets fit in that jack. So it's a standard 3.5 millimeter jack. So if kids bring in any headsets, they'll work to listen. And then in your box, you have 2 caps to replace. They get lost very, very easily. So let's talk about the headsets. We did not supply headsets with this set of 50 pens we shipped out to you, but you can purchase them if you're interested in it. The reason why I bring up our headsets is not to sell more stuff to you, but they do have microphones embedded in them that were developed by Bose, and they have the noise canceling technology and the ability to hone in on the speaker source. So in a room like this one, this microphone in the pen is fine. But if you go into a large lecture hall, it might not get as good audio quality by just using the pen on its own. So we actually recommend our headsets for recording, which is counterintuitive. Most people think of headsets for just listening, right? And so we recommend them for recording, and we tell students to just drape them around their neck. We don't advise putting them in their ears because that's rude when you're trying to teach kids with headphones in. But they tell them to put them around their necks. So there's 2 reasons why students might find these advantageous. One is if they're in large lecture halls, which in this building is not going to be a major issue because your rooms are fairly good size. But the second thing with some of your kids is when you write on the surface of the paper, the microphone in the pen is going to pick up this sound. Like that scratching sound of the ink tip going across the paper. Because the microphone's only 2.5 inches from the tip, it picks it up very well because it's actually the closest sound. And so that, to some kids, go crazy. Like, honestly, it really bothers them if they have any sensory issues or anything like that. It could really make them jittery about listening to their notes. And so by using our headsets, you're actually now moving the microphone source 2 feet away from the ink tip. So if you're putting these around your neck like this, and the pen's down here, it's cutting down on that scratching sound. So if you have students that are really sensitive to that, you might want to make that recommendation that they go out and get these.
So the headset cancels the in-pen microphone?
Yes.
Oh.
Ours do.
Yeah.
Not like, a lot of the kids ask today, well, what about my iPod headphones? Because those have microphones in them. And I said, you just need to test it. I don't necessarily know the quality of the microphone or anything. But I know ours will. So
Janet, how much do those cost?
they're $19.95 at Best Buy or Livescriber. And then sometimes you'll see, like with the holidays coming in the new year, there'll be a lot of accessory specials, 10%, 15% off accessories. I'm not sure the coupon code. Is that 20% off just pens?
I think that's 20% off just the Sky Pen.
Oh, is it? We gave you 200 coupons for the families, so that Sam will send those home with all the students, and they're 20% off if they wanted to buy them for older siblings that aren't getting them in the freshman class or holidays or whatever. So we did provide that. So I'm not sure what it covers though. All right. All right, and then the last thing, the third thing. Oh, sorry. Do you have a question?
Well, since you're on the last thing, maybe not. But I just reached the bottom of my page taking notes.
Keep going.
I can just keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it saved.
Nope, you don't have to hit record again. That's a great question, actually, and that did come up with the kids today.
Okay.
And although I told them it, I think it might need a review. Because they see a record button on every page, they think they have to stop and then start recording on the next page. You actually don't want to do that. You just want to keep writing because the pen's smart enough to know, hey, I made 5 pages of notes with this one audio file. So they must be connected in some way. The pen's smart enough to keep track of that. So you just want to keep on writing. Don't hit record, don't hit pause, just keep going. All right? So the last thing, the third thing that I want to talk about is the dot paper. So you get supplied a small A5, that's the A5 size notebook that you got in the box. But when you are done with that notebook, you will have to provide, get replacement notebooks. And so if you want to go out and buy the A5 size, we sell them in in ruled as well as grid. So if your students are in any type of drawing class or math, you might recommend the grid paper. But we also have college ruled single subject notebooks that are the larger 8.5 by 11 that students seem to prefer. They come in 4-packs. And we have 3 subject notebooks that have the dividers in them. So these are going to probably be more preferred by your students. Any of this paper will work except for the sound stickers. Our sound stickers, unfortunately, do not work with our Sky Pen, only our previous models. And so those will not work. Now, when you go out to buy these, we have so much paper in stock. We don't have even planned a new run of paper till 2013. So one of the issues that you're going to encounter is that when you turn to the inside front cover, the wireless controls are not going to be there. So I'm going to just borrow this. So when inside your box, you receive 2 sets of stickers. These are designed for you to just peel off and put them in the older notebooks that you might purchase, since we're not even planning as a company to do a run, okay, for a couple of months. So hold on to those stickers. Thanks.
So
All right.
The next run will include those?
Yeah, they'll be on the cover. And all of our previous dot paper products work with the Sky Pen. It's just that they don't have the controls for the wireless on the front cover, that's all. Okay. So anything I could clarify on the Smart Pen, the headsets, or the paper before we move on?
I guess, so our students, they're also provided with 2 of these stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're using them for other subjects that they already have to buy. You can buy more stickers for students, correct?
As a company, we've not decided what we're doing about stickers, which is not the best answer to supply, but that's the answer I was given. I made the recommendation of just putting a PDF on our website that they could even print and cut out and tape on, if we don't want to have a way for people to buy stickers, but we haven't decided. I think it's a new issue, we haven't hit it yet.
So basically they either have to share notebooks for subjects or
Right, and what we recommend is actually the students using one notebook
Mhm.
because Evernote allows them to sort and tag and move them later. So instead of having multiple notebooks, we're moving to one notebook model.
Hopefully by the time we're through 3.
Right.
Right,
if they're
and-
writing crazy notes.
Right, if they're writing crazy notes and they're burning these up more quickly, the only time they need most of these controls is when they're setting up a network.
Right.
You know, so hopefully, you know, I know that I'm keeping a couple of these around so that if somebody comes to me and says, I can't set up the network, I can say, here's
Right, because
stickers,
none of these
bring
other
them back.
features, these Google things are set up in-
Right.
And I was like, I made the recommendation to the company just to do a PDF because you can laminate that or put it in a page protector, like in a 3-ring notebook. Like, it doesn't have to stick necessarily, you know. But I
Yeah,
just
maybe
don't
we'll
think.
laminate a couple of these and just keep them around.
Yeah. I cut them though because there's
Yeah,
two
right.
really on a page.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. Because I asked them, are we going to sell sticker sheets? I mean, that's a 4-pack of paper. People have more than 4 packs, but they said, oh, we don't know yet. We have to see what the market does. So. All right, let's experience the magic. I want you to go ahead and tap on the stop button on the bottom of your page, and then tap back on